So it looks like it's the Ricky show today. Last week was the Robbie show, and this week is the Ricky show. So as you probably can understand, busy mamas always have to change their plans on a dime. And so Robbie's son is actually in a county tennis tournament, and they made it to semifinals. And so she's like, I can't, this match is too intense. I can't come on. So I said, no worries, I've got this. But anyway, I am so excited to be here. Last week was a bummer because I was not feeling well. And I had, I guess, a sinus infection, and they made me come in to do a COVID test. And then since it came back negative, they gave me like Z-Pack and all this other stuff, and then had me come in for another COVID test, which was absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, I survived that, but I was literally like, well, I'm in this group text with all my friends from Burn, and it just so happened that all of them had COVID. So I don't know if we just passed it around. So they're all in there, and they're waiting for me to get my results, and they're just sure that I've got it because they all do. And mine was negative, but y'all, I was sicker than they are. Like, they just basically lost their sense of taste and smell. I'm like wheezing, coughing, carrying on, and they're like, dang, what is wrong with you? So anyway, I'm so glad to be back. I guess the Z-Pack finally kicked in, and so I appreciate you all. I know we had Scott on last week, and he talked a lot about health and wellness, and so I appreciate the shout out he gave me as far as like wishing me best of the luck with what I had. But anyway, today we've got a super great show. We've got Heather coming on, and Heather has a tremendous story that I'm super excited about. Oh, it looks like we have Robbie. Hang on one second. Hey, Robbie.
Hey, guys. I'm just coming on really quick to say hey.
Hey, Heather.
Hey, Heather. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, hey. So how's the match going, Robbie?
What'd you say?
How's the match going?
Y'all, it's amazing. It's going so good. It's like it's nuts. It's nuts. I'm like that loud tennis mom. You know, I'm back here like, oh my gosh.
Well, you can't really be loud, so it's a whisper. Oh my gosh, right?
I know. Yeah. Well, no, I yell. That's my problem. I'm back. If you can see where I'm at, hang on. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm way back here, like in the grass. Like he's over there.
Oh, good.
Yes, that's how loud I get.
Well, I told him you weren't going to be able to hop on, but I'm so glad that you did.
Yes, I'm so glad y'all are here. I'm going to hop off, though, because I just wanted to say a quick hi. I'm going to go cheer on my baby.
Best of luck.
Bye, y'all. These are busy moms getting it done.
Uh-huh.
Bye, Heather.
Bye.
Okay, Heather. So I didn't get to formally introduce you. Look, Robbie normally runs this StreamYard, and so I logged in today as her, and I'm learning how to use it myself. So anyway, let me show your picture and show who you are. So this is Heather, and I think it's Latimer or Latimer.
That's right. Latimer. Latimer.
Uh-huh. And so, Heather, we are so excited to have you on today because you have a tremendous story that I am thrilled to hear. Turns out Heather is actually from my hometown. I don't know if you're from there, Heather, or did you grow up there, or we were kind of chatting behind the scenes a minute ago.
So I've been here since I graduated high school and moved up to go to MTSU, and so I'll be 40 in January. So it is my hometown. Like, I've been here longer than I lived, in the town that I grew up in.
Yeah. So at MTSU, what did you major in?
Elementary education.
Me too. We may have even had a class together. So are you currently teaching or not? No. Okay. Tell me about that, because I would love to know your thoughts on where you are now in your 40s with that degree.
I am. Not only am I not currently teaching, but I am not virtually schooling my children. They are going to school. I'll be and listen, hi, thanks for having me. I will go ahead and warn y'all, I am incredibly honest. So if you can't handle honesty, might be a little much for you. But I'll be very honest. Elementary education for me was a fallback. I really wanted to go into the medical profession. I wanted to be a research scientist. I wanted to cure cancer. I wanted to do all of these amazing things with my life. but I met a boy, and I decided that I didn't want to be in medical school for 8 years and then residency for 4 more and all that. I met a boy, and so I decided, well, what's the next best thing? It would be to have your summers off and
Yeah.
be able to come home at 3:00 in the afternoon. So I just kind of fell into that. It wasn't like a calling for me. So I taught for 4 years. And when I got pregnant with my middle child, when I went on maternity leave with him, I knew I wasn't going back.
Yeah.
And he's 12 and a half now. So for the last 12 and a half years, I have worked from home. I've never been a stay-at-home mom. I've always had a business going. He was born in 2008. So from about 2006 until 2017, maybe, I ran a photography business. I had a really successful photography business here in town. I am not designed to have a boss. I'll just be very honest with you. Like, I am a control nut. I like to make the decisions. And I knew, and even with teaching though, it's very autonomous. You're in your own classroom. And so you are kind of the boss of your own classroom, but I needed something even beyond that. I needed to have schedule freedom. My husband, he is very high up in his job. So we needed something as a family where I could have freedom to go to doctor's appointments, to pick kids up from school, to do all of those things, and it wouldn't affect his job. And so I just started building my own businesses. And like I said, I had a photography business for about 14 years or something. And then I discovered network marketing and love it as a profession. Absolutely love it as a profession. I've been doing that for the last 5 years. I currently, with my second company, I built all the way to the top in my first company. And I just recently made a switch to the health and wellness industry and couldn't be more stoked about it. And I know we'll kind of talk about why and my journey, how it's kind of led me down a different path.
Yeah. So you told us a little bit about your family. So how many kids do you have? And we know your background. Tell us about your kids and kind of what a day in the life of Heather is like.
So I have been married 17 years, I think. Whatever. I'm not good at math. Math is not my strong suit. And listen, I've been married so long that we don't keep up with it anymore. But have been married since I got married when I was 22. So I've been married a very, very long time. I have 3 children. I have a 15-year-old daughter, 12-and-a-half-year-old son, and a 6-and-a-half-year-old daughter. And I will tell you this, the minute we got the option to put those kids in school, I said, y'all are going to school. You are going to school because I love you too much to be your homeschool mama. Like, it's just, I'm not cut out for it. Some people are, and they are literally given that gift by God.
Yep.
He passed by me. When he was making me, he was like, we're not giving her that. So now that my kids are back in school, it's amazing. My children leave at about 7 o'clock in the morning and they get home about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I am fully able to immerse myself into growing another business. And that's really exciting because for me, I need something. I need something just for Heather. I was never one of those little girls that dreamed of getting married, that dreamed of being a mom, like that's not how I was made. I wanted to make an impact on the world. I wanted to help people. And so kind of for the last year and a half, I've been on a very personal journey, and kind of my business fell to the side while I worked on me. And just within the last 2 months, I've picked up me again and started building another business. And I'm in the best place I have been in a long time. And it's exciting.
Yeah, it brings you a lot of fulfillment.
It does.
So speaking of your personal journey, though, Robbie says you have an amazing testimony that involves weight loss. And so many of us busy mamas who can't get our crap together struggle with weight and struggle with all of that. Tell us a little bit about your weight loss journey and tell us a little bit about where you are today.
So I didn't always struggle with weight. I know some people, from early childhood, they struggle with their weight. That I didn't. I didn't really start struggling with my weight until we started trying to have our third baby. And my first 2 pregnancies were completely, I thought you got pregnant and 9 months later you had a kid. That's, I was young, I was naive, and I feel like people don't talk about pregnancy loss very often. So that was never on the forefront of my mind. Well, we decided, our kids we had I think a second grader and a kindergartner, or going into kindergartner, and we were like, let's just do this one more time. Let's just do it one more time. It'll be awesome. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And I don't struggle to get pregnant. I got pregnant right away. Went in for my 11-week, my very first doctor's visit, and there was no heartbeat. That is absolutely devastating. And it's something that at that point, no one was really talking about. That was 7 years ago. I've always been very active on social media. I'm very kind of open.
Yeah.
We had already shared our pregnancy announcement. We had already, told people we were pregnant, because hello, you get pregnant, you have a baby, right?
Yeah.
Where we were, where I was. And so I very publicly went through this miscarriage, and it was a 2-week long process, because my doctors thought, well, maybe I just was less pregnant than I really was. It was a 2-week long process, and I went through it very publicly on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant again and immediately lost that one. And so I turned to food. Within 8 weeks, I think I gained 20 pounds. And I wouldn't take it back for the world, though. I would not take back those 2 miscarriages, because let me tell you, it connected me with so many people. I talked to so many people that had 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 miscarriages, and it really kind of structured the rest of my life, because it made me realize that living very vulnerably and very open connects you to so many people, and it really, it's really how I live my life now, because I truly feel that there's someone out there that's just waiting for you to tell them they're normal. That what they're going through and what their issues are and what their struggles may be, they're waiting for someone else to tell them that it's normal. So that's how I've lived my life for the last 7 years. But I got pregnant with our baby, our little rainbow baby, Whitley. And not only did I gain 20 pounds before that, dealing with the kind of the depression and the sadness from my miscarriages, but I also just ate the whole time I was pregnant with her, and I gained 40 pounds. And of course, people were like, "Oh, it's baby weight." No, it's not. No, it's not. It's Big Macs and fries, And so I had her at my highest weight ever. It was 224 when I had her, and I'm only 5'4", so I'm not super tall or anything.
Right.
I continued to gain weight after I had her, and at my highest, I was 249 pounds. And you can't throw a diet at me that I have not tried. Okay. I've tried keto and paleo and Weight Watchers and various like diet systems. And I've got supplements in my closet and all the things. Okay. My Fitness Pal, let's log things, and everything. Okay. I know how to work out. I know the science behind it. I know it's calories in, calories out. Right. But, and I truly believe anything you do works if you do it. Okay. And if you do it and you stick with it, that was my problem. I could never stick with it. I had a food addiction. I truly had a food addiction. I'd go pick up fast food. Fast food is my downfall. Don't give me a steak at a fancy restaurant. Give me a Big Mac. Like that's give me Taco Bell. Okay.
Not a give me pizza.
Yes. I don't like fancy food at all. But I would go pick up fast food for my family, and I would offer to go do that so that I could order extra food and eat it on the way home, throw it in our big trash can so nobody would know, and then I'd come in and I'd eat another meal with my family. Yeah. And I did this for years. And it took me a very long time to realize that that's an addiction. It's an addiction, just like, drugs and alcohol are an addiction. The hard part of it is that you have to eat. You can't go cold turkey on food. You have to eat. So I about almost 2 years ago, I met a girl who had just had weight loss surgery. She was about a year out, and I hung out with her for an entire weekend, and she actually really made me realize that it's for normal people. I thought it was for my 600-pound life on TLC. That's what I thought. I thought it was for very, very, very people that had 300, 400, 500 pounds to lose, because that's what I had seen portrayed in the media.
Okay.
I didn't realize that someone normal like me could benefit from weight loss surgery. So when I met this girl and I spent a weekend with her, I saw that she did everything that we did. You know, she was able to still be a part of normal everyday life. And so it really got me thinking, man, I just kind of feel like this is what I need to do. And I'm a jumper. I don't need to overthink things. I don't need to overanalyze. I don't need to look at pros and cons. I go on how I feel. And within meeting her, within 2 months, I had my surgery scheduled. She kept coming back up in my mind, right? And then finally I said to my husband, like, I think I want to do this. I think I want to do this. That was on a Sunday. That Monday I had consultations and everything scheduled. And then 9 weeks later, I had my weight loss surgery. And that was in May of last year. So I started at 249. I now teeter somewhere around 139, 149. So no, 139, 140. So I've lost a little bit over 100 pounds. I'm now in maintenance mode, which is just a whole nother beast in and of itself. But really the last year, so a lot of people think that weight loss surgery is the easy way out. That's what we've been trying to think. And I will tell you this, number one, it's not. Okay. It is just simply a tool to help you, and you can ruin it. If you don't change your relationship with food and how you cope with stress and sadness and happiness and everything in your life, if you continue to turn to food, you're going to gain all that weight back. You really, really, truly will. And so I've learned over the last year, I really had to take deep looks at myself. I had to work on my food addiction. Weight loss surgery is not the easy way out, but I will tell you this, if you've contemplated it, it makes it easier. And that's what I needed. I needed it to be easier because it was the biggest struggle I'd ever struggled with in my life. I could not get a handle on it. And it has made it easier. It has made getting back on track easier. That was my history, right? I cycled over and over and over. I do so good for like a month. I'd lose 15. Listen, keto, you can drop 20 pounds in a month. I dropped 20 pounds in a month. And for some reason, I'd start to think I was fabulous and that I could eat whatever I wanted. And those 20 pounds would come right back. And it was this awful cycle. For me, weight loss surgery has made it. It's made it so that I can jump back on board. I can have an off day. I can go on vacation. I can do this. I can do that. But I can immediately get back on track. And I will never say that weight loss surgery is for everyone because it is a major surgery. Okay. Yeah. I was incredibly sick. I had an awful recovery.
Well, let me stop you right there. What kind of surgery was it?
I had the sleeve, which is where they turn your stomach into like this little banana shaped tube, kind of, and they remove about 70-80% of your stomach.
Okay. So now you're really sick.
So sick. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't cook for my family. I couldn't bathe my children. I couldn't walk. It got to the point to where I couldn't feel my legs. They were numb. They were shaky. I could barely hold myself up without needing to faint. I was throwing up 5 to 6 times a day. My vision got to where my eyes would just do this. I couldn't focus on anything.
Is that normal? Is that a normal complication?
That's absolutely not normal. And listen, if it's going to happen to somebody, it's going to happen to me. And I believe this because I live my life so openly and so transparently. I believe that God needed to show somebody what the worst could be and that you can overcome it. I really, truly do believe that. And so it's a very unlikely, thing that might happen, but I'm here to tell you that you'll get through it. It turns out my B1 was very low. And when I started taking a B1 supplement, I literally snapped back my brain. So my brain couldn't make decisions. All I did is I would wake up, I'd get out of bed, I'd go sleep on the couch to get up to go back and sleep. I could not make decisions for myself. I couldn't force myself to eat because I wasn't eating. I was nauseous. It was just a bad cycle. But that B1, I'm a huge proponent of B vitamins. It snapped my brain back. Within 24 hours, I was able to make decisions that I should be making. And within 2 or 3 days, I was on the road to recovery like I should have been. Yeah. And people will say to me, like, would you do it over again? Going through what you went through. Yes, in a heartbeat. And I would do it all over just like I had to do it. Because like I said, there was a lesson I needed to learn. I needed to learn a lesson. I needed to appreciate it or something. But there was something there that I needed. I needed to have that struggle. But yes, it has changed my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just from being a role model for my children, you know, to living a healthy lifestyle, to being more active, to being more involved, to getting in front of the camera and taking pictures with my children.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it has changed my life amazingly, and I can't say enough good things about it. So if you're considering it,
well, like, Trisha we've got a comment up here. Trisha's watching, and she said she had gastric sleeve in 2014, and she said it is the hardest way to lose weight. Would you agree with that? Because was it really hard to lose?
Trisha? No. And I think maybe what she means is that you have to do it mentally. Like, you have to mentally get yourself in the right place. Now, the weight's going to fall off. It is going to fall off at first, because you basically start out maybe eating 200 to 300 calories a day. You work yourself up to 500 to 600 calories a day. The weight is going to fall off. But then you get to a point to where it's not falling off anymore. And it is easy to backslide, and because you have old habits. So mentally, because the weight loss was easy, you had to work extra hard on the brain part of it. Because if you don't get your brain right, then it's going to just come back. You're going to fall back into your old ways. And that's very easy to do, you know?
Well, that's what she said. She said it's an addiction. She said I think that's what she meant. She said food's an addiction, and you have to be mindful of every single bite you take. And so it's a real, you know, I think that's what she means. Like, the weight falls off. She said, yes, exactly. Like, the weight falls off, but it's the mindset.
And you have to be ready to change your life. Because you're going to change your life. And it is like learning a new language. You have you go back in baby steps. You start to eat in baby steps, you know, and you only can eat this, and then this, and then this. And then finally, after 3 months, you can eat, you know, the whole array of foods. But you really, really, really have to be ready to make that change. Because if you're not, you're having major surgery on your body for no reason. Because let me tell you, and I'll tell you this too, and I'm sure Trisha knows this, we learn quickly how to trick our sleeve.
Oh.
That is something that you learn. You can literally eat little things all day long. So I could buy a Big Mac, and I could cut it into fourths, and I could eat it, a fourth of that Big Mac, every single hour. Okay. I can eat fried. You can eat. And so I know how to trick my sleeve. So now that's where the mental game comes in. I have to be able to say, Heather, stop. Like, don't do this, because you're going down the same path that you were on before. We're smart, you know, smart, and addiction is very smart. And so it's a head game. It really, truly, but just like it is with any kind of weight loss, you know, you got to get your head right and work on, you know, your mental issues, or it's going to be hard to be successful long term.
So how would you say, what has made you so successful long term? Like, how did you change that mindset? What are you doing now to keep and maintain where you want to be?
I think a lot of it comes from I had to be very aware of when I felt full. Because as a society, we feel full, and we continue to eat because it tastes so good. That's what I had to learn. And that's what's so cool about the tool that you have, is that, and I've got to get a phone charger real quick, I think. But no, I don't. Here's one.
Okay.
But so, oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to die on y'all, though.
Yeah, don't do that.
Mom life. And of course, there's like a charger anywhere and everywhere. You could find one. But so anywho, I had to work on that really hard, and I still sometimes will overeat by a bite or two, and that's not good. That's not good, you know. And so I'm working on that. It's always a work in progress. I ate a very low carb, high protein diet for about the first year, and was very mindful of what I would eat. But I will also tell you this: I did not go into weight loss surgery to live a very restricted life. I didn't want that. I knew that if I went to the movies, I still wanted to have movie popcorn with my kids. I knew that if we had pizza night, I still wanted to have a slice of pizza with my children. I did not want to not be the normal person in the room. That was a huge thing for me. And that was the scariest thing for me, was that I was afraid I wasn't going to be normal anymore. But I can tell you, here I am a year after. And I'm fortunate, I think, that nothing bothers me. Okay, that can be hard too, because nothing bothers me, right? But I can eat anything that anybody else can eat, I just eat a really small amount of it. And then I just try to be active. I think that's so crucial. But here's the thing: when you lose 100 pounds, it's much easier to go running. It's much easier to take your kids on a hike. You know, it's much easier to get out in the yard and play football or kick a ball around with your kids because your knees don't hurt. You're not out of breath, right? You're not sweating profusely. So it just there's a lot of little things that add up to the big thing.
Yeah. So what would you tell our moms, our viewers, that were contemplating, any form of plastic surgery? Like better themselves, or, like, I know that some people out there are kind of like, you got to work at it, or blah, blah, blah. Like, what would you tell those moms that are saying, I want this for me?
Mm-hmm. So I had a mommy makeover back in April.
Yeah.
And it is my weight loss surgery is the best thing I've ever done. But it was so okay. You've destroyed your body for a very long time. Okay. Yeah. And I'm almost 40, so things don't snap back like they used to. I had a huge overhang at my stomach. And to not be too graphic, I literally had cow udders. Okay. That wasn't pretty. We breastfed 3 kids, and then I also was overweight for years and years and years. And my arms have always been the biggest part of me. I had really, really big bat wings that would flap in the wind. Okay. My husband and I went into this, though, knowing that if I did weight loss surgery, that we were going to invest in plastic surgery.
Oh.
We knew that. That if I was going to do the work and I was going to lose the weight, if I needed a little nip and tuck, we knew that. I will tell you that still going to those consults and getting that $, it was very hard to do.
Yeah.
I don't like to spend. I like to spend a lot of little money on Amazon every day. I do not like to spend big bucks.
When you have to make that big check.
Yeah. Well, and when it's for you, that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous at first that what was the message I was sending my girls?
Mm-hmm.
Because was I sending the message that, because you want your kids to always be happy with who they are and confident in who they are. So if I went and had a tummy tuck and had a breast job and had my arms done, was I telling them that actually we're not good like we are, And so I struggle with that a little bit. And I talked to my 15-year-old about it, and she was like, "Are you crazy?" She's like, you have worked so hard.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be ashamed, or you shouldn't want to hide, and you shouldn't look at yourself and only see the old Heather, because that skin was still there. And so when I heard that from her,
You're back.
Sorry, I had a phone call. I'm sorry. Probably should turn this on airplane mode. But so when I heard that from her, I was like, okay, let's do this. And so I did it. I went all out. I did all 3 surgeries at one time because that's just who I am. I did not want to have like multiple surgeries. My surgeon was able to do them all. There is a component. You're going to have scars. Okay?
Yeah.
There's that component. And I will tell you this. You cannot, unless you already have a big scar on your body. I didn't. My biggest scars were my little itty bitty ones. They're like this big from where they did my weight loss surgery. Unless you have big scars on your body, you don't know mentally how that's going to affect you. I have scars that run from my underarm right here all the way down to my elbow.
Oh.
I'll show you. There they are. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Big.
Now, how long ago was that surgery?
This is from April 30th, so it's been about 5 months.
Okay.
My tummy tuck is from hip to hip. It is beautiful. That's scarred very, very well. And then my breast scars go from, he went table to table because I had so much skin here to remove. So they go all the way from here, underneath, and up. They're beautiful. You can't see that. And the thing that kind of sucks is that my arms are the only part of my body that people actually see, right? And those scar the worst. So I've had to do a lot of sit down internal chats with myself and tell myself, that if people have problem with my scars, that's on them. It's not on me, And and I just had to be okay. You have to be okay with it. I had a friend say to me, like, you'd rather have big scars than your arms now. And at that point I was like, yes, of course I would. But you don't know how it's going to feel on the other side of it. I love how the arms look beautiful from the front. From the back, the scars do bother me, especially at summertime. I had it done at the end of April. Boom, we went into summertime. Okay.
Sure.
But I fully believe in trusting in the process. I do know that this time next year, they're going to be the same color as my skin,
Right.
People aren't really going to notice them. So for me, I had to, again, come to a place of like self-love and know that if anybody questions it, like I've got a story to tell, and it's just a part of my story. So, again, it's one of those things to where your brain controls everything, like your brain and your headspace control every single emotion that you have. And so sometimes you got to like sit down and just tell yourself to shut up and like snap to it. If I wouldn't judge someone that I came across that maybe had knee surgery and had huge scars on their knees, why do I care if someone's going to judge me for my scars, And so, and if they are, I don't want those people in my life. I don't want to be friends with those people. So I really had to do some pep talks to myself about my arm scars. But I'm trusting in the process. And it's, again, people will say, would you do it over? Would you do it over again? And I tell them I'm not at the point in the process to tell you yes or no for my arms. Tummy tuck, hands down, 100%. Get yourself a tummy tuck. It is phenomenal. It's amazing. My breast job, I do it over again. But my arms, I'm not at that place in the process to tell you yes or no. Check on me in a year, check on me next summer, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But it's done. It's done, and they're there. So I have found very cute long sleeve swimsuits that every time I wear them, people are like, "Oh my gosh, those are so cute." So it's just living your life in a different way and choosing different things for yourself.
So Brandy chimed in and said she wishes she would have waited because of the scars and they're horrible. Blah, blah, blah. Like she said, she just, let alone being stuck showing them to somebody. So hopefully you just spoke to Brandy in that sense and said you wouldn't judge somebody who had knee surgery. So, own it, love it. And for those people that don't like it.
Yes. And here's the thing. We're the worst critics of ourselves,
Yes.
And I guarantee you, if I walk through Walmart and I have a tank top on, the majority of people are not going to notice my scars.
Mm-mm.
I know they're there. So
right.
I make it a bigger deal than it actually is,
Right.
So, no, I am so happy that I did it. I'm happy that I did them all together.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have recovery again. Recovery? I thought the tummy tuck would be the worst. It was the easiest, hands down the easiest. That's why I say if you're thinking of a tummy tuck, go. I believe you will not regret it. I'll be honest with you, I did the tummy tuck because I was already going to be under the knife anyways. And I'm like, let's just do it all.
Yeah.
I wasn't that excited about it. My stomach didn't really bother me. You could hide it in clothes,
Yeah, for sure.
It was what it was. It is hands down been my favorite. It is beautiful. It is, like, I haven't had a flat stomach probably since I was 17 years old, it makes me feel really good about myself. And I know that's silly, right? It's just cosmetic. But I don't look down anymore and I don't see the effects of what I did to my body.
Yeah.
If I could go back, I would love to have never been 100 pounds overweight for years and years and years.
Sure.
But you can't do that. You can't go back. You can't unwreak the havoc that you've done on your body,
Yeah.
And so now we just, we do what we can and we live with it. So,
yeah.
No, does that answer?
For sure, Brandy. Yeah, because Brandy's saying, she was like, I just need to learn to love myself no matter what. So, yeah, I mean, and I love your message. I think it speaks volumes for those women out there who are dealing with weight loss in general, the struggle with weight and then the plastic surgery and things like that. So, okay, so on top of this wonderful mindset you also have a mindset for entrepreneurship, which you told us about. So tell us what it is that you do and a little bit about, like what made you want to do it. I mean, you kind of spoke a little bit about that in the beginning.
So I was rocking and rolling with my photography business 5 years ago. I was not looking for a change. I was getting burnt out, and that just does happen. You know, with my photography business, it was me. I was everything to everybody, and that very easily can burn you out. And like I said, I did it for about 12 or 13 years, and I was getting really burnt out. And I stumbled upon my first network marketing company, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was, I mean, number one, I was a teacher. That's the most thankless job in the world. So if you're on here, go thank your kids' teachers today. Just send them an email and thank them. It will make their day, their month, their year. Especially with what we have going on right now. But that was a very thankless job. Like I said, with my photography business, if things were great. If someone had an issue, boy, they unloaded on you, you know, and you were the only one that could fix that issue and take their anger. That was tough.
Yeah.
I found network marketing. And the cool thing is, if someone didn't like a product, I just sent them to customer support and they returned it. Like, that was huge for me. It lifted such a weight off my shoulders. I learned throughout my first company that I'm a talker. I already knew I was a talker, but I just like to share. And I will share anything and everything. If I go and I eat a really good meal, I'm going to tell you that you need to go to that restaurant. You know, I'm going to share my experiences, good or bad, because also I feel if you have a bad experience, it's kind of my duty to tell you that so you avoid it, you know. And I have a mouth, and it was made for network marketing, but I also learned that I am a leader, and I never would have told you that. I never would have thought that I would get fulfillment and joy out of helping other people help themselves.
Right.
I never would have thought that. But that is something. Network marketing is hard, y'all. It is not easy. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It is a legit job. The same that anything is a job where, you know, what you put into it is what you get out of it. But I learned over the course of those 5 years that I like to help people help themselves, and teach people. Again, you know, maybe I was a teacher for a reason for a few years, but I truly prefer teaching adults. But it brings, network marketing is hard, like I said, and again, you have to do a lot of mental work. It's a lot of times it's a head game, and it's a quit being so mean to yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time. But for me, it gives me freedom. It gives me time freedom. I can go do anything and everything I want to do. With my photography career, yes, I worked from home, but I was gone so many weekends and so many nights. And that was really hard. I tried my hand for a year at weddings, and I was like, I'm not cut out for weddings.
Oh, I've heard that stuff.
All day on a Saturday. I was like, I can't do it. When I found network marketing, I truly could make my own schedule. And I was home with my kids on the weekends and nights and stuff like that. So I shut my photography business down about 3 years ago maybe, and solely focused on network marketing. I made it to the top of my first company. But for the last year, like I said, I've been on this kind of personal journey, you know, and my business fell to the wayside a little bit while I was focusing on me. And in that time, I really became addicted to coffee and putting my protein powder in my coffee, because I was, if you know anything about weight loss surgery, you survive on protein. You need protein for your body. And you're supposed to hit, you know, so many grams a day and stuff. And you can't eat a whole lot. Right. You can't eat a whole lot. So it's not like you're just cramming in steaks all day long, you know? So I was using protein powder. I was shaking up a small Gatorade Zero and chugging it back. And it was kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I just wish, so I used to drink wine a lot. My first year after weight loss surgery, I didn't drink wine at all. And but I missed just the action and that the sitting down with a glass of wine, sipping on a glass of wine. There's just something, like, for me, it was very calming about that, you know?
Yeah.
And
I say Xanax. It's like, I don't do Xanax, but that's like whenever
yes. Yes, and a lot of times it's not the alcohol that you're drinking. It's like the action of doing, you know, just enjoying something and focusing on something. And I really missed that. And so my best friend was like, why don't you drink coffee then? And I was like, I wish I could drink coffee, but it tastes so bad. I don't like it. And so she introduced me to some coffee. and I started putting my protein powder in my coffee. Collagen, protein powder in my coffee, flavoring it the way I wanted to with stevia, and it really, like, I was able to get in all my protein. That's when I really started, like, I was like building muscle mass and all kinds of fun stuff because of that. And then I started going live on Facebook, and I started doing coffee talk times where I mean, I've always gone live on Facebook. Like I said, I'm very open. That's how I work my businesses. But I would sit down and I would just talk to people while I would drink my coffee. And we talk about life, and we talk about kids, and we talk about husbands, and just very open and very honest, and have really built an awesome network that way. And the cool thing is that I didn't realize this, but God was just kind of nudging me in a different direction that whole time. And I didn't realize it. But I did feel unsettled in my old company because I love it. I still love it. I love the products. And I love what the company stands for. But I no longer had that leadership purpose. I didn't feel that anymore. Yeah. And I didn't realize it was missing, because I had been working on myself. Yep. But I also knew that I kept saying, like, I got to find my fire again. I got to light my fire again. Let me do this training. Let me do that training. I can do this again. I can get it back together. Yeah. But what that really was God saying, it's time to pivot. It's time to move. This company was put in your life to teach you many, many, many things, but now it's time to pivot. And so it just was dropped into my lap. Another company, it is health and wellness. And we have an all natural energy coffee. And so I found out first, I'm like, can I put my protein in this coffee? Because if not, I'm not doing it, because that's how I live my life, is on protein coffee. Yeah. And absolutely you can. So I'm a jumper. And it took me about a day to everything to snap together and realize this is where you're supposed to be. This is the path you're supposed to be on. And it has been an incredible 8 weeks. That's all it's been.
8 weeks?
8 weeks that I've been.
Wow. That's awesome.
It is incredible. We truly have products that are changing people's health, and that feels good. That feels really, really good. And the coffee has mood boosters in it. So I'm telling you, I say, like, it keeps me off death row, especially now with, like, my kids weren't in school and stuff. And, it makes you happy, and it makes you feel good, and it feels good to feel good, And so I completely started over and could not be happier to start over. But that's how I'm wired and I'm geared, is I love building something new. I love change. My husband hates change. Like, he refuses it. I love it. And if I don't have change in my life, I will look around and see, like, can I repaint my house? Like, can I redo a piece of furniture? Like, I crave change. Yeah. And, it's funny that I resisted it for so long with my work, because it has been exactly what I needed. And my husband will tell you, my kids will tell you, like, I'm that zippy, like, on fire lady again. And they told, they were like, we missed that. We forgot how you were. Because I was, and I hate to say just a wife and a mom, because I know some people are very personally satisfied being a wife and a mom. Yeah. I'm not. I'm not wired that way. I need something for me. And now that I got this back and I'm building my third business in the last 15 years, they see that, and they see that spark in me. And that is so, so incredible for my family unit.
Yeah. So not only are you finding joy, but you're also being a role model and showing your girls that there is more to life out there than just,
Yep. Absolutely.
Settling. Well, Heather, you have an amazing story. It's been, it's truly inspiring to hear. I love to hear from other moms out there that deal with, it sounds like you and I have had kind of the same journey. My kids were second grade and kindergarten when we started over. I had 2 miscarriages before. Wow. It's almost like I was a teacher, said no, so then when COVID hit, I think I let my kids drop out of school at the end. I was like, I may be teachers, but y'all are going to be dropouts. Like, I can't do this anymore. And just like you, I have just found total joy and freedom in everything that I'm doing behind the scenes with my job here at home and kids. So anyway, your testimony is great, and you speak to so many moms out there. So I'm just so thankful that you came on and shared your story, and that you're as open and honest as you are.
Well, that's the only way I know how to be. And that's what I tell people, be strong enough to be vulnerable, and you're going to make a mark on so many people's lives.
Yes.
You are, because so many people are scared to open up. They're literally waiting for somebody else to do it so that they don't feel alone.
Exactly. And they're never alone. I have found that.
Yes.
So we normally do a Mama Madness where I throw some questions at you and you just spontaneously answer them. So if you're up to it, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hang on one second. Well, so Robbie, she's usually in charge of all this. So she will pull up the little, let's see, Mama Madness and all that. So I can't figure all of it out, y'all. I'm just, where it is, look. It's Mama Madness time. Okay, so your first question, with it being October 1st, Halloween costumes, yes or no?
No for my 12 and 15-year-old. Yes for my 6-year-old. Yes.
What about for you?
Yes, for me.
Have
my
you?
2 oldest are embarrassed at this point. For me, I'm all about it. So yes.
So you already have a plan?
No, I'm not a planner. I'm not a planner. I never have been. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl. So I'll probably figure it out like the 26th, 27th, 28th.
We always do a yearly Halloween party, and they start asking me, in the end of September, are you doing it? I'm like, it is way too soon to ask me, even though we're 6 years of this annual party. Check back with me on the 27th.
Yes, plans give me anxiety. That's about the only thing on this world that gives me anxiety. But if things have to be structured and planned, I get worried that they're not going to go the way that they're structured. And I literally run from plans. Like, I'll tell people, come over on Saturday and we'll eat. And they're like, what time? I'm like, whatever. I don't care. Just come over and we'll figure it out. Like, it drives my husband insane.
Okay, so what's the most random thing in your purse right now?
I don't carry a purse. I literally have my cell phone case is you open it up and you can keep your credit cards in there. You keep your driver's license in there. I grab that and I grab my keychain, and I've got one of those like little bracelet keychains that you hold on your arm. That's it. I don't carry a purse. I hate them.
What's your favorite place to shop?
Amazon.
I'm learning to like, now I'm getting to the point in Amazon where I'm like, buy it now. Just swipe the buy it.
Yes.
I'm adding to cart. So where do you see yourself 3 years from now?
3 years from now? Well, I'll be the mom of senior in high school, which is crazy. But I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to when my kids are out of the house. That'll be awesome. But still rocking and rolling in maintenance mode. Like I said, that's real hard. So, we're learning as we go, but still active, still being very, very active on Facebook, very open, very transparent, and definitely rocking and rolling at the top of my new company, 100%.
Awesome.
Helping so many people change their lives.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds amazing. What is Mindy said? She loves leggings and liquor too. So she must be a friend of yours because she said, hey, Heather Boo.
That's my girl.
Is it? There you go. So Heather, that's where we got our name. I love leggings and I love me some wine. So, okay, one last question. What is your favorite song to dance to?
Probably Baby Got Back.
Even though you may not have a back anymore, right?
I don't. My butt is awful. It looks like an 85-year-old granny's butt. I did not get that fixed with plastic surgery, and I won't because I don't want any more surgeries. But I still got one. It's just flat as all get out.
Well, thank you so much for doing this today. We really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. It means
so
a lot
much
to
fun.
us and all of our viewers, I'm sure. So have a wonderful Thursday.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay, that was so fun. It makes me go, what now? What does Ricky need to do now? Because I'm all about change too. So anyway, one thing that I did want to mention is that not everybody in this, not all of us moms are going to be brave enough to do the things that Heather has done and to take that step into plastic surgery and weight loss and all the things that Heather was able to do. So, either we're not brave enough or it's just not available. So what's really cool about what we do about speaking of leggings and liquor is if you just need that $59 tummy tuck, something just to put things into perspective for you, we have these leggings, y'all, and everybody calls them the magic leggings. And so, like, I wanted to show you real quick. Like, look at this. These people have not been able to have their weight loss surgery yet, but they've done the job. They've lost the weight, and these leggings are giving them that instant tummy tuck. So I was like, Robbie, this is the perfect show to show. Like, you know, the lady in the pink leggings, someone sent me a message and she said, how is that even possible? Like, how do those leggings do that? I don't believe it. I was like, oh, I believe it because I've seen it happen. People will show us in videos how they just tuck it all in. So it's pretty amazing. So anyway, if you are just not at a point where Heather is in her life, feel free to reach out to us, Robbie and I. We love leggings, and we have the magic leggings. So we would love to share those leggings with you and help bring more joy to your life as well. But we will see you back next Thursday. And we kind of went pretty long, so I'm going to wrap this up. But as always, we hope that you continue to live your best life in leggings and maybe add a little liquor too. All right? Bye, you guys.